give me $2.
Hi, my name is Chris. I'm the Rusty Caveman. First thing on our list today is to clean up the raised beds that are in this that are on the platform where the old mini greenhouse was. This bed right there is way too heavy for the tractor. And if you notice as I back up, the tractor starts to lean or twist a little bit. And I'll tell you, that was a big pucker moment. I will tell you that right now. Anyway, Eli hung onto the edge of it, and we got it shifted over to where we were going to put it temporarily. Now this other bed obviously was a lot smaller and had a lot less dirt in it and was not near as heavy, so it actually moved pretty easily. And I got it swung over and placed at the edge of the garden where Dad could easily get to it, and we still had room to get in there with the tractor to do some rototilling for some corn and some stuff like that. And then we moved the heavy one a little over closer to it to make it kind of all together in a line. And we moved it very slowly. That thing was incredibly heavy. Of course, Dad was out there to supervise. Now, the old deck that the mini greenhouse sat on was extremely rotten. If you look down there toward where it's still on the ground, that bottom half there was almost completely eaten away. Now, Dad was determined to save it somehow. I don't see that happening. As we flip it over, parts and pieces of it fell off of it. We ended up shoving it over into Eli's area, and he's going to use it as a temporary porch until we can get around to building a real one over there. Next up was to stabilize the old storage shed. Now, the wind has knocked the sides off of it. It is that old. It's been sitting around forever. But as I pushed forward on the tractor and got it back square, Eli put these cross members on both sides to make sure that it stayed that way. And those cross members will stay on there until we actually get that thing moved over to where the old mini greenhouse was. And before I can move it there, I need to put gravel down and create a solid base for it. And with all the rain that we've had, we're not in any condition to do that right now. If I drove the tractor to the garden, it'd probably sink all the way up past the tire. Of course, since the tractor was out, we're going to go ahead and move some of the wood. This is some of the framework that'll go underneath the new office section in the barn. And these boards were wet and they were heavy. So we got them carried in there. This first half of the day was completely tractor work. We put the tractor to it. This is an old metal desk. I had that metal desk in Michigan. It's a great desk. Love that desk. I wasn't going to give it up for any reason. So it came out of the warehouse. It got stored into the barn, and it will go into the new office. Now, as mentioned before, I had a blade, but it was in the back 40. Well, this is the old blade. In the wintertime, it was basically packed in snow, not easy to get to it. After that, when I was moving the gravel around, a lot of times it was just too wet to get to and things like that. Well, now I was able to get to it. So It took a few minutes to get this thing mounted on there. And as with any farm equipment, a lot of times it comes down to just brute force. Now that dirt pile in the background, you've seen it in plenty of my videos. It is almost gone at this point. I'm using the blade to kind of knock it down a little bit more and to spread out what's there to kind of level everything as best as I could. The blade does a great job with kind of cutting off some of the highs and filling in the lows. Now a box blade on the back would have actually done a better job for that kind of thing, but these work. Basically I just drag it around until it kind of fills in all the little holes, and I just kept going back and forth. It does a great job. I could have tilted the blade a little bit more to get more aggressive, but I was afraid that I would start chewing off too much of the upper layer that I was trying to smooth out. This took a few hours to do. Now, if you watch the edges of the blade, you can kind of see on some parts of it, a little gap will show up underneath of it. That's a low spot that ends up getting filled. As you can see, I scoop up quite a bit of material when I'm trying to get some of the high stuff. But it does a pretty good job of taking care of it. Where the pile itself was a pretty good size hump. Now I flipped the blade around here, so I'm actually using the back of it, and the back of it changes the angle of attack, and it basically turns it more into a finishing trowel more than anything else. So I'm actually just kind of smoothing down the lines a little bit, just trying to make it a little bit cleaner, make everything a little more even. If you look in the background there, that pile is completely gone. I actually use this blade to smooth some of the spots in the driveway as well. Next major thing that's going to happen for this particular area is another 40 tons of stone, and maybe 60 tons of stone. And as you can see, the massive dirt pile has been distributed. A lot of it went over there. Like I was mentioning before, we wanted to smooth off the drop off, which we've done. I'll let that get rained on a few more times, and then I'll skin it to the right level, cover the whole thing with gravel. This whole stretch will have gravel all the way along the barn here. And I am standing in what will be the chicken coop. The chicken coop will be lined up with the barn, coming across here, and it will go the full length of the barn and square it off. So, well, today was work day. We were actually going to start on the floor. As you can see, we've got some issues. Now this center hump here is just soft mud. It's not standing water. But we've got standing water over there. We've got standing water over there. This corner's dry. I have a feeling that we're looking at least another, well, it's going to take several days for this to dry. And I hear we got another storm coming in on Wednesday, so that's going to be a problem. I've got to get the water stopped coming in here. And most of that I thought was on this side over here, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Either that or everything flowed across to make this puddle. Well, I have a feeling that this video is not going to have the floor in it. Nope, not going to happen. Oh well.
Did you get it? It's shaking its head. I'm thinking I got it. Put your head in there. Whoops. What's wrong?
Looking to eat.
Drink water. Drink water. Get some.